You probably don't know me. In fact, I guarantee you don't know me. I am not somebody that's worthy of knowing outside of my own circle of friends and family. But that doesn't matter right now because 7 days ago, somebody that millions of people not only knew but looked up to and cherished was brutally removed from this world for simply sharing an opinion. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? Sounds like that couldn't happen, doesn't it? Sounds like nobody would be dumb enough to really meet words with force. Yet, here we find ourselves, a week after the murder of Charlie Kirk, the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I thought things would feel a little different 7 days after, but they don't. You see, the problem is there are far too many people that are okay with meeting words with force. There are far too many people that cannot articulate their thoughts and their views, so they need to lash out physically. There are far too many people that could not match wits with a man that did everything in his power to open up his platform to people that he both agreed with and disagreed with for a free, open discourse. 8 days ago, people that follow Charlie Kirk would have always been in the mindset, that it is worth talking through the differences with the people that stand across from you that disagree with you. 8 days ago, it would have been acceptable to have a very loud and a very contentious discussion with somebody that you do not share a belief with. 8 days ago, compassion was the goal. 8 days ago, compassion would have been necessary and it would have been called for. That was 8 days ago. As of 7 days ago, that all disappears. There is no justification for violence in the face of disagreement. There is no justification for any gun death. There is no justification for removing a man permanently from earth because you disagree with him in front of his children and his wife, in front of the people that he mentors, in front of thousands and millions of people that hang on to almost every word he says. Now, I didn't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk said. In fact, I don't think there's one single person on this earth that agrees fully with anything anybody else says. And if they do, they're either lying to you or they are brainwashed and in a cult. I am not a religious man. But the impact that Charlie Kirk had on me from the moment that I discovered who he was almost 13 years ago, from the moment that I saw the passion and compassion he has for those around him, whether they lived the same life he did or not, the impact that that had on me was nothing short of godly. And again, not religious. I do understand the power of religion and why it is important to those it is important to. I do understand how religion can hold together the fabric of a society. And I also advocate for anybody that feels as if they need religion to seek it, to live with it, to make it part of your life. If you need to lean on a God or a belief to be a better person tomorrow than you were today, then please do what you must. The point of what I'm saying is I did not agree with everything Charlie Kirk said, yet there is no part of me that believes it is okay for him to be murdered over the disagreement that I may or may not have with him, over the disagreement that anyone may or may not have with him. I can't even imagine the fact that I have seen people that I have grown up with my entire life online laughing at and celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk. That makes zero sense to me. And their justification for such is that they don't believe what he believed. They didn't like the words that he said. They didn't like the ideas and the beliefs that he put forth and brought to people as a discussion. The craziest part about all of that is if you wanted him dead for what he believes, and I believe a lot of what he believed, then you want me dead. And if that's the case, fine. So be it. Bring it to my doorstep. I dare you. Charlie Kirk did not die 7 days ago. He was reborn into millions of other people. He was thrust into the hearts of those that knew him and didn't know him. Everything he stood for was open discussion and pushing the gospel that he believed in. He did more for this country at his age to bring the youth of our society closer to God and country than almost anybody I have ever witnessed personally. I could be wrong about that, but I didn't personally witness anybody else doing more for the youth of this country than Charlie Kirk. There is nobody that can say anything that will push me or sway me toward justification of what happened to Charlie Kirk, whether you agree with him or not. There is no more compassion. There is no more seeing things from your side. It is now time that we either squash the bullshit and turn down the temperature in this country, or half of this country is going to feel the wrath of the other half of the country that has been so calm and so understanding, albeit vocal, because we're allowed to be, against the beliefs that the other half of the country has. I can't even imagine, if the shoe was on the other foot, the type of reaction we would get. Oh wait, I can. You see, when one half of this country doesn't get what they want, they react much different than the other half. The past 7 days, not a single city has burned. Instead of burning cities, people are burning candles. Not a single door to an establishment has been broken down. Not a single business looted of their supply. In fact, quite the opposite. Walls between beliefs have been broken down and hearts filled with compassion, filled with sympathy, filled with love and unity, because anybody with a rational thinking brain understands what happened was wrong, whether you agreed with him or not. Again, I thought 7 days later, things might feel a little different. And they don't. They feel a lot different than they did 8 days ago. But the burning and the rage and the hatred that normally is cast into compassion and understanding is still only a burning, rageful hatred. I will never look at somebody and say, I hope you die because of what you believe. I will never look at somebody and say, you deserve to die because of what you believe. And even more so, I will never look to my neighbor and tell them to commit atrocities based off of my belief towards somebody that doesn't believe what I do. I've seen a lot of people online cheering for and advocating for what happened to Charlie Kirk. Inversely, I've also seen a lot of people that didn't believe what he did taking a stand and calling an end to all of this insanity. People on the left, people on the right, and people in the middle. Those with rational thought know what happened was wrong. Those without rational thought do not belong. They don't belong on the stage of ideas. They don't belong in the realm of conversation. They don't belong. This is not a left versus right issue. This is not a black versus white issue. This is a mental instability and lack of maturity issue. If you can't sit there and disagree with somebody without so vehemently and so disgustingly hating that person to the point that you want them dead, then you have no place on the stage with us. It's not my fault that I can see things from multiple sides and have some sort of mentality to put myself in the shoes of other people. I believe they call that empathy, but we don't do that anymore. It is not my fault that I'm able to sympathize with those that falter and have a much harder, a much more difficult experience in life than myself or my neighbor, my friends, my family, or just the everyday average person. It is not my fault that you cannot handle yourself. What is my fault is how I handle you. All I'm saying is there has been a fire lit in this country that burns a lot brighter and a lot bigger than any of you thought possible. And when I say any of you, I mean the people with the belief that those that do not agree with them need to die. Bring it to my doorstep. I dare you. You will not leave my doorstep. This isn't about seeing things from other angles anymore. This isn't about understanding where you're coming from. This is about you wanting me dead because I believe something you don't. I don't play that game. And I am speaking for the millions of people that are mourning right now. And I am unapologetically doing so. There isn't a single thing that you can say that can justify this. But I want you to know this right now. We are done caring about your point of view and your side of things. We tried. We tried very hard. And you removed that option from us. 1 week later, and the fire burns brighter than ever. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. And for those of you that don't know, the demons walk earth and the giants have been awoken.